All right, it is time for a Disc Golf Valley playthrough on Foxtail Meadows, brand new course. We haven't had a new course in over a year, so this is very exciting. Hole 1 is a 665-foot par 4. I'm going to slide right, take that top chevron well below the basket, and then give this plenty of anhyzer to just try to glide down here right of the fence below the basket. Hopefully the skip will climb the hill. Yep, that's perfect. We'll take our uphill 49-foot chance at eagle. So aiming above the band, give it about 60 power, and we'll sneak the eagle in over the tray. Hole 2 is a 489-footer downhill. Got to get it into that circle of wood chips around the basket, or there is a hazard penalty, which means you take a stroke penalty and play it where it lies. So this is reachable with a sticky musket as long as it's not a headwind. So we'll just throw that sticky musket and just let it sit right there by the tractor. You'll need to change your disc and your aim point, your strategy depending on the wind here, and really every hole on this course, as the wind can play a big part. On hole 3, this is a dogleg right. This is one of the worst winds for this hole. Since it's a dogleg right, you're hoping to use the disc to just hyzer around the corner here. But we'll see if we can force it around the corner a little bit. So I'm going to aim a little bit left so that I can put some hyzer on this and maybe raise it up a little bit and see what happens. The wind is holding it left, which is good. It kept us out of that foliage. We got a good skip. It's not going to make it down to the pin with that right to left wind, but not bad. Leaves us 100-footer for eagle down this hill. Aim a little bit below the band and give it maybe, 80 feet of power. And we'll take that eagle on hole 3. Moving on to hole 4, it's a par 5, 980 feet, very reachable in 2 for eagle, but with this 3 headwind, it's going to be tricky. So I'm going to aim pretty far left with my DD3 and give it some hyzer and just try to work it straight down the fairway here. All right, we got lucky to miss the foliage there. Now, this might get lucky and get left. So I missed the main fairway over on the right, but there is kind of a secondary fairway over here. There's a few trees, as you can see, but the basket is visible. I think I could go under the trees, and I think there's a shot over in this wind. I think I could just throw a light glide rive over there. Let's try to sneak the sticky musket underneath the trees and see what happens. We're going to hit it directly. So that was not good. You know what? Let's see if the light glide rive gets over those trees. So I'm going to hit rethrow and just take my rive and throw it over the top. Caught a little bit of a tree branch there, but that's plenty of disc. Look how far past the hole I'm going. So now, since I did a rethrow, this throw in is for birdie. Got a really unfortunate roll there, but let's see if we can make the birdie anyway. 88-footer into a headwind. Snuck it in. Really want eagle there every time, but we'll take the birdie today. All right, hole 5 is a dogleg left. There is a mando at the end of this rock wall, so you have to go forward a long way. So let me just throw a light glide rive out there to show you how far it is to get past this mando. Notice the OB on the right in those foxtails. I hit the wood chips, so it brought me to an early stop, but I really wouldn't have gone much farther anyway. So this is 285 feet, but it's severely downhill. So I'm just going to aim up here to make sure I don't accidentally clip the wall and just throw it with about 120 power. And that's going to carry all the way down to the basket. Any harder than that, and I would risk skipping OB behind the basket. But depending on where you get on your drive, you may want to take a run at that. Down the hill for eagle. And now we move to hole 6, which is a beautiful little par 3, reachable with sticky musket. There is OB directly behind the hole, so I don't mess with that. I just throw my sticky musket up here and take the throw in from 43 feet this round. And move on with no damage. Hole 7 is only 261 feet, but it is severely uphill. So we're going to use light glide drive, slide right, and put the bottom chevron about even with the basket, but over here in this gap, there are a couple trees here in front of the basket, and then of course this big tree out to the right. So I'm going to aim about here and try to throw it really flat or a tiny bit of anhyzer. That looks perfect. Almost caught some foliage, which would have given it a chance to go in. Well, did catch some foliage, but didn't really knock it towards the basket. That's okay. We'll take this 44-footer downhill every time on this hole. You hit those trees and you can get into a lot of trouble down there. So, hole 8. A fun tee shot in that it's downhill, but it is risky because on the mini map you can see there's a double Mando down before you enter the peninsula to get to the basket. So you have to be confident in this shot if you're going to try to make that Mando. But since we're just playing for fun, let's try to make it. We'll take the DD3, we'll put it down here, and we'll give it some anhyzer and hope that the wind and the natural hyzer brings it back to make the Mando. I don't think there's any way that's getting to the Mando, but if we get a good skip, it will. Oh, it did. That DD3 is so much straighter than the Rive. That is amazing. We would take that drive every time on this hole, giving us a 97-footer for eagle on hole 8. Little right to left wind. This has to be a little downhill, maybe. Still going to throw it almost 95 feet of power. Got the eagle there. And moving on to hole 9, really fun shot here. This is a tough wind to gauge. 1,264-footer, very downhill. You have a gap in the trees to try to get through here, kind of right of this turbine and left of these trees. You want to carry all the way down there. Should we throw forehand here? Give it a shot? Let's try it. So I'm going to aim really low with my DD3. And do I even need to anhyzer it? Because the DD3 will want to break left. Let's give it a touch of anhyzer. And hope that that funnels through here. Oh, that is perfectly through the gap. Now just get clean. Get clean. Oh, get over. How lucky was that to clear the water? We will take it. All right, 343 feet on pretty level ground. Can we get there with an Explorer with that tailwind? I think we're going to try. Let's do it. That should get us there. Could have taken a run with a musket, kind of have a backstop and everything there. But we'll just take this and finish up with eagle from 32 feet away. So there you go. A first look playthrough at Foxtail Meadows. Unfortunate I couldn't have gotten that eagle on hole 4. That would have been a 14 under. But I will certainly take the 13 under. Let me know in the comments what you think of this course and what kind of scores you're getting. And we will see you later.